Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at the Dumalex all-in-one rechargeable LED camp light and tell you why you may be interested in picking one of these up. Alright everybody, thanks for joining me today. I wanted to show you this. I get a lot of requests from companies wanting to send me lights and camp lights and stuff like that, and normally I'll take a look at the product and then I'll decide. I'll look online, see what they're talking about, and go, yeah, that's good, or no way. This one I took a look at, and they only have a website for now, and I was actually impressed with it. It just looked different. It looked better made. And then I got it, and I was really shocked because it is. You know, I know as product reviewers for outdoor gear on YouTube, a lot of us tend to get products over time, and we tend to like them and, see how they work, and if they're really decent, we'll give a good review on them. But this one really shocked me because it's actually made really well. I would almost call it like the Rolls-Royce of camp lights. It's really made nicely. As you can see, it's kind of the size of the bottom of a soda can, and it's about half the height. They have 660 lumens on its high setting. So, it's an omnidirectional 12-piece LED light around the outside, 660 lumens of high-intensity, long-lasting light if you hang it up in your tent. Now, it also will go down to a 650 intense spotlight. So, it'll do just up to 650 feet in distance with the built-in beads around the outside, they're little LED beads, okay? And it's actually not a bad idea as a replacement if you don't want to carry a flashlight. I'd always tell you to carry a headlamp, but if maybe you don't want to burden yourself down with a headlight and a flashlight, well, something that you use in your tent can also be used as a spotlight. Now here's where it gets interesting. It also has a 7200 milliamp hour battery bank. Now, 7200 milliamps compared to what we have today where we get these 20 and 30,000 milliamp battery banks, isn't much, but it's enough to top off a cell phone, maybe get an emergency call out, maybe even fully charge a smaller, smartphone. It can charge up other devices. I look in my go bags and my camp gear and stuff, and I'm amazed at how much stuff is charged via USB. So there's always that option. Plus, it's also rechargeable via a solar panel. If you wanted to have one of those little folding solar panels, you plug it in the side here in the input. Let it sit in your tent, run the wire outside to your solar panel, and you can charge that during the day while you're out doing stuff at your camp, and come back at night and have a lamp topped off. Now, it does have a small design, like I showed you. It is very compact. That's one of the nice things I liked about it, and we'll get to the bottom here in a second. But it's just a small, compact package, but it doesn't feel cheap. This actually feels like it's made of quality materials. I believe the materials used in it is aluminum alloy and ABS plastic, but this does not feel plasticky. Like, this is probably plastic, but it just feels like a metal container. It just feels good in your hand, It's one of those deals where it actually feels like it's well made. So, it is IP65 waterproof. That means you cannot throw it underwater and hold it there for hours on end, but it will take rain, getting wet, maybe getting something spilled over it, no big deal. I'm going to show you the bottom real quick before we get into anything more. These are your power indicators here. You hit that button and it'll show you. I'm at 4 bars out of 5. You'll notice here these two little things here. Those are rare earth magnets. You can hang that up like that, or you can hang it up like this. So you have the choice of doing it either way. You have your output here to charge your devices, and on the other side you have your input. And I'll go through the light modes quickly. We are going to test this in the dark, but I'll go through the light modes quickly with you. There's your 650 lumen spot. I'm sorry, there's your 650 lumen spot. The first setting is 400. And there's your spotlight. Okay? And there's your low setting. And I'll give you the lumen output on all that in a second here. So, for lumen output, you got 12 hours of continuous lighting on normal mode, which is that first mode, when I confused it, the 400 mode. You've got 7 hours on the 660, and you've got 158 hours in the low light mode, which is 30 lumens, not the spot, but this mode here. And that mode there is more than enough for inside a small tent. if you're camping. And those are the modes on it. It does have overheat protection, so it doesn't get hot when you're holding it in your hand. I was playing around with this outside last night just to see how far the spotlight will go. And I had it on for quite a time. And you could feel it warm up here, but the body of it was not getting hot. Unlike some flashlights where you have them on 1,000 lumens for a while, they'll start to really burn your hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the lights here, and we'll test it out, both with the camp lights and with the spotlight. And we will see how it stands up to darkness out here. So give me a second to set all that up, and we'll be right back. All right, we're in complete darkness here. We're going to try out the normal mode. And that's your 400 lumens. Obviously, you could see the box and read it. If I were to hang that up in a tent, say, that's more than enough light. Now let's try the 600 lumens. A little bit brighter. Now the spot, we're going to do a long distance test on the spot. Well, long distance of my garage, but we're going to do a test of it. But I just want to show it to you. Still pretty intense light. And of course low mode, that's the 30 lumens. And inside of a tent, when you're going to sleep, if you like a night light on, that's probably about the brightness of that. That would be pretty good. So let's move the camera back a little bit and do a spotlight test on it. All right, we're at a little distance from my workbench over there. I'm going to go through the modes real quick. There's your regular 400 lumens, 600 lumens, and there's your spotlight. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. So there's your spotlight. I have it on autofocus because it's great for close-ups, but it kind of stinks for the darkness when it has to focus. So you can see that's a pretty powerful, bright spotlight. And a nice wide beam, a little bit of spill around the beam itself. Definitely usable for walking around outside. You can see in front of you very, very well. Definitely kind of cool there. Let's just, for giggles, take it to the low mode here. And that's your 30 lumens. So let's get it back on the bench and I will show you what it comes with. All right, so this is a box it comes with. Nice looking box, decently made, gonna hold up to being shipped and travel if you tend to use it for that. You have the inside here. It usually comes like this, packed in there. One of the nice, kind of thoughtful features they have here is the cord to recharge it or to charge other things. They actually bother to put caps on that. I think that's kind of a nice touch. You know, it's nice that they do that. It's a nice flat, well-made, thick cord. I like flat USB cords. They tend to work a whole lot better for stuffing in your gear. And they're easier to coil up like I did, because I've had this open and closed like 9 times already. So, when you want to charge it, you have a charger for your iPhone. That's the iPhone plug. At least I believe that is. You folks with Apple devices can tell me. Then, if you don't have an iPhone, you pull this out. Pull that back. Come on, fingers. There we go. Okay. Pull that back. Flip it up, and there's your micro USB for your Android. So now you see why I have it on autofocus, because for close-ups it's awesome. So that's kind of a nice feature. You know, they actually bothered to put a decent cord in here and not some junky little generic $5 crummy cord. So it's kind of a nice feature. It also comes with a nice storage bag. It actually has a little bit of a protection factor to it as well. A little bit of rubber lining in there and a nice bag. So you can just drop that in there with the cord. There you go. And you have a nice little package in your backpack. Now again, it does weigh 9.1 ounces, so it's not super ultra light, but it'll hold up to being dropped, to being knocked around. It's a decently made lamp. You have your little instruction packet here. Let's open that up. And you have what looks like instruction in Chinese and English. But definitely readable, no problems with it. I was able to understand it. It wasn't written in poor English, it was actually written very well. So if you wanted to keep it in the box for storage, you can. But if you just keep it like that, that's cool too. It was funny because I open up all the stuff that I get in front of my wife and she's always like, I don't like that. That's no good. That looks cheap, you know. I opened up this and she's like, we're keeping that one. So you understand what I mean by it feels well made. It just feels like a better made flashlight, a better made lamp for your camping needs and your tent. And it's also kind of cool if you don't feel like lugging around a flashlight. You saw how well that spotlight works, so you can use that. And it's also an added benefit that it will charge your phone or your other electronic devices. You guys that bring radios with you, you know, I always bring like a shortwave AM FM radio with me, just because I'll scan around and sit and listen on shortwave, you know, if I'm bored while I'm camping, which usually doesn't happen, but sometimes at night it does. So anyway, that is the Dumalex all-in-one rechargeable camping light. They run for $39.99. They are not cheap, but you're not going to get a good camping light cheap. So, gotta say, I'm impressed with the quality of the build, the materials used. It's an actual decent flashlight. One of the uses I would think this would be good for with the magnets is underneath your car hood. If you work on cars a lot in your garage, stick that up on the hood, and you can see what you're doing. And as you can tell, it's a pretty bright light. So it's well made. Run you about 40 bucks. I will put the link down below. And the capacity for the battery is 7,200 milliamps. The dimensions, I forgot to mention this, 3 inches by 2.6 inches. As I told you, 9.1 ounces. Lithium-ion battery, 13 LEDs, 660 lumens on its high. The charge voltage is 5 volts at 2 amps. And at that voltage, if you have a panel that can do it, if you're charging it from a panel, it'll charge it completely from dead for about 5 hours. So again, you know, you got a panel, you got a decent 20, 30 watt full-up solar panel. Plug it in there, stick the panel outside of your tent, stick that in your tent. Go do what you're going to do for the day, go out exploring, whatever, come back. It's right there. So it's kind of a neat way to keep it topped off. Anyway, folks, I will put the link down below for Dumalex. Check them out. And they seem to be a company that's interested in making good quality products. So I thank you folks for watching. Don't forget to check out our Amazon store down below. You will really help out the channel if you shop with that link. You don't have to buy anything in the store. Just click the link and shop as you normally would. And to those of you doing it, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to check out, if you're interested in getting started out in freeze-dried food, we have a Thrive Life link down below the Amazon link. And that will take you to my Thrive Life page. We do have a spring sale coming up in a day. So if you're a delivery customer, you get it today, and tomorrow is the next day. But if you're watching this video 2 years from now, that means nothing to you. But anyway, check out the Thrive Life link if you're interested in getting started and getting some freeze-dried food. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.